What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Connected to the Webb podcast. I've got a super fun guest here today that I've known for a couple years, who I think anybody watching has probably heard of one of his companies, maybe of him as the individual, really part of the Harford County community, and just a really great family man and community guy. So I'm excited to introduce you to him. So Brad Georg, everybody, round of applause for Brad Georg.
Thank you. Appreciate the invite. Excited to be here.
So I heard this is your first podcast. Word on the street
Number
is
one.
your first podcast.
Number one.
I'm so sorry that I was your first.
Hey,
because you
something
never
I will
forget
remember forever.
you're first, and I'm so sorry. This image, and this situation. No, I'm just kidding. Man, so listen, we kind of go way back as far as kids are concerned, right? It's been a couple of years.
Yep.
You have how many kids?
Three.
Okay. And I've met the oldest.
Yep. Jake.
Jake's the man.
Jake's the man.
So our children played together on the Bel Air Terps.
Yep.
Shout out, 3-time champion. We call it a dynasty. Some people don't.
Yep. I was lucky to be part of it twice.
Got the shirts and the rings to prove it.
Yeah.
But that community, a football community, is very special. I think we're so blessed to have your son join us a couple years ago and just make the team a step better. I knew the first time I saw your son on the field, he was smiling. He just loved to be on the football field. You could see that emanating like an aura, man. I'm like, this guy, Unfortunately, he was wearing another color at that time.
He was.
But we recruited him. NIL money was a little low that time, so we had to go on faith. But it worked out, man. So I'm really glad he came over, and it's been a beautiful thing. J-Mo definitely misses the team already, and C. Milton is not as prolific as the Terps are, so he's saying, man, I got to learn how to lose. I'm like, what did you just say?
Yes,
and he's like, Dad, they don't win as many games as we're used to. I'm like, I hadn't thought about that.
Right.
Because my oldest is on the team, so we'll see. It's a
Learning
humbling experience. Yeah. So there's some really cool things I want to ask you about. I mean, stuff about some things I saw Jake on social media, like really cool things. But we're here about you, and then we'll get to your son later.
Sure.
So I am dying to hear about your story, man. So you got a couple companies, and I'm sure that over time that has kind of happened. But why don't you take me back to where are you from, my man?
I'm a local. I'm from Jarrettsville.
Local yokel. Okay.
Local yokel.
Awesome.
I've been cutting grass since I was 5. So that's how far it really goes back if we really want to go deep. Been cutting my parents' grass since 5, then cutting my neighbors probably at like 10, I think I started. And I always I like being on machines. I like kind of seeing the instant results, and that's kind of where it all began. Out of high school, I kind of got this idea that, hey, I can do this for other people. I don't have to do this for my parents anymore. And it kind of blossomed from there. Kind of started just word of mouth, passed along. Grew it up as I was in high school, going into college, to basically a full-time position for myself. I had about 3 or 4 guys, and it was me, and we were out there doing anything we could get our hands on, from mowing to landscaping projects to
the natural progression of it. So I know some young men that were during my time, and then now young men right now, who are doing the neighborhood grass cutting thing. It's great to get some cash from your neighbors when you're young.
Awesome.
But where's that moment where it transitioned from, this is a really fun thing, I enjoy it, I like it. Where in your life? Was it high school or college where you're like, I like this enough where I could do this for a long time?
Sure. Where was the moment? I'd have to say it's probably, I liked it at different stages along the way.
Yeah, sure.
So, I mean, it kind of kept egging me on.
Yeah.
I like the problem solving. I like the figuring it out. I like the logistics of the whole thing.
Okay.
It kind of builds me up, but it different pieces as things kind of fell into place and growth happened.
Okay.
That just kept pushing.
Maybe let me ask you this: when's the first time you brought a partner on, or friend, or neighbor, or employee, whatever that word is? The next person you brought on, maybe that was the transition moment.
Definitely learned a lot in that entire experience. there's a lot of stories.
Was it somebody in your personal network that you brought on first?
My brother and his friends. And my friends were definitely the first employees of the business.
Okay, awesome.
We kind of built it from there, and then it was a lot of friends working together for a long time, and then it kind of built again, and then we brought in outside people, and that stepped it up again, and they transitioned to other things, and it kept going from there.
So the name of your primary company is what?
Chesapeake Landscapes.
And Chesapeake Landscapes, is that your immediate family, or is your brother still involved?
No.
Okay, so he moved on in his path.
Correct.
You stayed with that. So when did Chesapeake Landscape come into the fray?
So 2002 we started. This is when I got out of high school.
You know what's scary? That's that is over 20 years ago.
It really is.
It doesn't
terrifying.
sound like it.
It's not cool.
You know what someone said to me the other day? This is so random. I was born in 81.
Right.
Somebody said 2000, Y2K, now, is the same as the 60s when I was born.
That's not cool.
I'm like, and my mom had me when she was 21. So the 60s for me was like when my mom was born, literally 1960. But I'm like, oh man, that hit differently.
Yeah, it's not cool.
I'm not old, but I don't know how that's happening.
Right.
But
I'll hit you with a little transition on that one.
Okay.
Jake comes to me this year. He goes, I can vote in the next election. I'm like, that's not cool.
Oh,
it's
that's
real,
right.
But it's not cool.
Because, I hadn't considered that.
So, there's another flashback of not fun for you.
Oh, God. I remember at some point in politics, and we're not going to go there, that like the guys we were in college with boozing around actually cared about the voting. I don't know about you. And did you go to college?
Yeah.
Where'd you go to college?
I went to was Village Julie, now
Stevenson? Yeah. Did you give a hoot?
No.
I didn't either. I wasn't aware. There might have been a guy out there with a booth saying sign up to give me a free basketball for my dorm room, but like that is the extent of my political career. Yep. People care a lot more now.
Yes.
But the fact that our kids that is something I've never thought about.
Yeah.
Thanks for that humbling moment, Brad.
You're welcome.
Oh, dude. Okay, so 2002, start to digress.
Yes.
You decided to make a company, and so to walk me from there to kind of where, in a big picture, the other entities came in.
Sure. 2002 to 2023, that's what I did.
Okay.
That is where I live, what I breathe.
Growing the business, providing for the family.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Grow the business, keep building, finding new relationships. That's kind of what we're built on. Is long-term clients. I mean, I don't think I have any still from 2002, but I have some from like 2008.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Which with itself was a crazy time.
Yeah, that was an
And how long have you been married to your wife? Because she herself is a wonderful lady.
Yep. So Karen and I have been together since 2008, and I met her in 2006.
So you had started the business first.
Yeah.
And then met your now wife. Okay, started a family. I was curious about where they were in a timeline.
Yep.
So 2023 comes, and you say, hey, there's some other ideas I've got. Sure. Walk me through that point.
So I guess it starts a little bit before that, but from somewhere in the 21, 22 phase, we start outgrowing our current spot where we're located. We're up on 136 at a farm, and we were just kind of starting to outgrow that space. We're a little too far away from our market. We're like, we need to find a property. Is kind of where we're stumbling, and anybody who knows that takes a long process, especially in the commercial world with zoning and all that fun stuff.
Wild West with the zoning. Yep.
Yes. So that's kind of the start of it. I start looking at properties, looking at things, trying to find something.
Okay.
Nothing's really feeding our needs or going to cost a whole lot to put together, and I'm not really looking to push that. So summer, fall 2022, I had the funniest story, I guess part of this is I've talked with my production manager, and I'm like, I drove by Greenspring. I've been a Greenspring customer, which I now own, since 2002.
Okay.
I've been buying there forever. And I drove by it one day, and I'm like, and I was talking to Brendan, and I'm like, Brendan was like, they're getting ready to retire. Like, it's going to be soon. And I've never really talked to the owner. Like, they've always had people in front that's who I dealt with.
Okay.
And so I finally get an introduction to the owner, and we're talking about renting initially, and then they're kind of tell their story. They're looking to retire, and everything kind of worked out. So they just kind of got into the property, and the property came with the new business ventures, and I was like, let's do it.
So there was enough acreage for you to have both?
Correct. Yep.
Oh, that's
Chesapeake's
so cool.
everything in the back, and Greenspring's everything out front.
I like those kind of stories because those are all about relationships, like we talked about, right? You don't get that wonderful addition to your business without making that relationship.
Correct.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I think that's kind of what I was saying earlier. I feel like business is missing that with all the technology, and not to go down a rabbit hole, but the thing's supposed to connect people more. It almost like it isolates them a little bit. But I love that you had a relationship that you formed, shake hands, look someone in the eye and said, I got an idea. What do you think? And you evolved that through. So you brought on, and what is the name of that entity? That's
Greenspring Nursery. Greenspring Nursery and Stone Supply.
Okay, and where are they located?
We're 1608 Jarrettsville Road.
Okay.
Right there, just outside of formal Jarrettsville.
So that's been there for a long time.
Yep,
so you grew up in that area.
Correct.
And saw that. Was that kind of surreal to know that that's a part of your youth?
Yeah. It is kind of it's the
cool.
I didn't really know it much as I was younger, but
of course,
but it's yes,
more like your eyes. You see it when you pass it.
yes,
Right.
you saw it, you knew it, and kind of just knowing that like, hey, I started here, kind of is what I did. I mean, I definitely, that was probably where I bought mulch first. If that makes sense.
How cool is that?
Yeah,
I'm kind of nerdy about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's a big deal. You know, maybe in the blue collar world there's more of that, and in the white collar world that I'm in, there's not a whole lot of that.
Right.
But I just love hearing that kind of stuff, and that's the kind of community that we live in, and I know that you're a big part of that.
Yeah.
So would you be comfortable talking about your faith at all?
Sure.
Okay, so I think it's a really big thing. I've been dying to tell you this, and I've meaning to it. I could have texted you at any point, but I'm like, I'm holding it off. If Brad ever comes on my show, I'm going to say something to him.
Right.
I am so proud of how honest your son is on his social media about his faith. And it's his business. I'm not going to go into it. I'm not going to put it out there, but he doesn't care. As the kids see, DJAF, right? Mm-hmm. Don't give a fart. So, but I just love that he's comfortable enough to put that out there. And the young man, he says, hey, I got this. This is something I believe in. And
he's there.
Like it or not, right? I love that. Where did that come from?
That is a great question. I asked myself
That's a good answer.
That's a great question. I really don't. That's him. That is him in himself.
Such a great thing.
I don't have I have what I gave him, but I don't have a lot to do with it.
I love. The youth obviously is the future, right? So something I've always been a big proponent of. Good children aren't by accident. So the way you and Corinne have your household and the way you raise it, it had to have some kind of influence on that. Man, I've been dying to ask you that for like 4 months. Right.
I can hope.
And there's always averages too. So you have one that has that. Maybe you'll have a bat out of hell one of the kids.
Right.
Who knows?
Yeah, one of three there's gonna be something.
Statistically speaking, I'm even worse. I've got 4. So I'm statistically speaking, right?
Yeah.
One of my kids, his name's Joe. They call him Saint Joe. Uh-huh. Not because of his faith online, but because he has had to say no to a lot of things he didn't think he's going to be exposed to. And he just keeps saying no. And his friend's like, are you sure? And not in a old school cringy video that we used to watch peer pressure way, but they are asking, and it's a yes or no thing. And I am so proud of him, and I've never, to the point where I've been looking, not in a weird way, but I'm like, has anybody fought back on how open he is about it? I've never seen a comment.
Not to my knowledge.
He gets some normal amount of traffic. It's some comments. Hey, cool, whatever. I've never seen a single negative comment. And in this world, some of the kids are very emboldened to share their opinion. So I just think it's pretty cool. And he's a light that I think other kids are benefiting from, man. It's super cool.
Appreciate that.
I will tell him that one day when I see him, but I've been holding it on as leverage to get you on here. So. That's funny. You can tell him. On a podcast today, Dave, we talked about you, buddy.
Yeah, you better pay attention.
Yeah, people are watching. Coach Joe sees you on it. So he just had some big news. Jake has decided he's going to go to a certain high school. Where's he going to go?
Loyola was his choice.
Going to be a Don.
He's going to be a Don. I'd have bet big money that was not happening.
Really?
Yeah. He was Calvert Hall guy.
I thought
all
so.
The way up to
the camps we were going to. He loved the atmosphere or whatever. What made him switch? Was it a certain curriculum that he liked, a person, a coach?
It was the visit. Whatever happened on that initial time he went to Shadow.
Made a big impression.
That was
he did the whole day, the Shadow Day?
Yeah, Shadow Day.
That's cool. So the kids
conversion.
Yeah, that's neat. That's awesome. Yeah. J-Mo's had a conversation, obviously, a whole last season about it, and he was surprised too. He's like, I could have sworn he was wearing Calvert Hall stuff to practice. That's why I don't bet. Reason number 10 million why I don't bet. Well, that's cool. And I'm sure at this point he's kind of excited about it. He's got some buddies going too, which is really cool. When I saw Blake was there, that was pretty neat. I was like, all right, the Twin Towers are going to be there. It's awesome. Well, cool. So, all right. So let's get back to the business. I feel like in the last 2 or 3 years, I've seen a lot of people offer some sort of service in your field.
Yeah, it's a very easy entry field, as they say.
That's exactly right. So what I wanted to ask you is, how do you approach the fact with a customer, and I do this in my business, everybody does, where there are other people locally in competition, and some of them are good people that they can choose from.
Right.
When you have a conversation with a customer, how do you explain the fact that Chesapeake's just different?
Yeah. I base it kind of on who you know, like, and trust. Like, if I can build a relationship with you and I trust you, that's
know, like, and trust.
Yeah, that's a big part of it. Like, if I come out to your home and I connect with you and we feel that we can deliver on the service value. That's my biggest offering. We've been around a long time. That's another piece of the pie, because a lot of people are here for a transitional piece. It's a transition from where I want to be to where I want to go, and that's what they use it for, and that's great. That's
God bless them. It's all good.
Yeah. So there's that. We have just trust is the biggest thing. Yeah. Just building that value, bringing the trust. We have the team behind us. We're going to deliver. We answer our phones. That's answering your phone, believe it or not, is a huge part of the game.
It's a shame that you get a leg up when you actually answer the phone. Same thing in my world. Yeah. They're like, "Oh, you answered." I'm like, "You called."
The phone rang.
That's not how it normally goes.
Right.
So do you still get involved in meeting new customers? Do you have a team for that at this point?
Yep.
Okay.
Both. So I'm one of 3 in the sales world. So it's myself, Justin, and Neil. Neil just literally came on this spring, so that's new to us. But yeah, I'm still heavily involved. I'm a big part of the sales process. I'll be going on sale. I don't have any sales today, but I would usually Monday, Thursday, Friday on
going on calls.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Okay, so let's give the audience some information about Chesapeake itself. Sure. So obviously we're cutting some grass for some of your customers, but tell me what other types of services you guys offer to the community.
So, I mean, we're a full service design, build, maintain landscape company, and we do everything from cutting your grass, and we'll design your biggest, craziest outdoor space in your backyard, and anything in between. Our sweet spot, I guess, is kind of landscape renovations or landscape enhancements. That's where we probably excel. That's our powerhouse.
There's some design involved in that process.
Design involved. We offer photo rendering design. We offer traditional design. Basically, I mean, our I guess secret sauce to that is we have software that we can take a picture of your house. We photo render right there. I can design it literally right in front of you. I can change it right in front of you, and I can
really,
I will sit there and.
I think tractors and machines. I don't think tech and software. And that's nothing to degrade your business, but that's not what I think about.
Tech and software is a huge part of our business.
Okay.
I mean, that is literally how I can sit here today, and there's 25 people doing things that I don't have to be involved in. But I probably would have to be involved in if it wasn't there.
If it wasn't there. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, that's one piece of the technology that we get to use, is that I can literally design your house as I sit in front of it, just to see, hey, do you like this? How do you like this color? What do you think of that? That's all those questions and conversation happen real time, as opposed to 2-3 weeks down the line.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So I'm going to ask a silly question to me. You probably get this all the time. Do I need a massive budget to be a client of yours?
I mean, we work in small budgets to whatever you can dream of, we can deliver on.
Yeah.
So
those are probably the really fun ones.
Yeah, those are the fun ones. They get everybody involved, and they're
like
definitely fun.
HGTV or something.
Yeah.
Have you had a project like that you've got to be a part of? Because there's just not that many of them.
Not that crazy, but we've been involved with some cool ones.
Yeah. But what's one of the coolest things that comes to mind that you've helped a customer design and then implement into their space?
Yeah, I mean, just kind of like the full. A couple come to mind. We did a project in Bel Air that was a full outdoor pavilion, grill area, patio, secondary patio with fire pit, water feature, landscape coordination, all very natural setting. It wasn't kind of the traditional, just kind of cookie cutter.
Yeah.
But it was
lots of turns and twists.
Yeah, turns, twists.
Now, do you dabble in the hardscape part of it?
Yeah,
okay, so that's huge. I'm glad I brought that up. So if I have a space that I want to attack and it's not all wildlife and management of the grass, you guys can do that. So the hardscape and the landscape combined creates that backyard space.
That whole space. We take that turnkey. We're the one-stop shop to that, from the pavilions and the outdoor structures to the hardscaping, whether it's natural stone, pavers, concrete, sand concrete. We can do all of that.
Awesome.
We have 2 crews that are basically dedicated to that. That's all they do every day. It's not just landscaping. It's not just cutting grass. It's not just mulching. We do drainage work. We do all kinds of things.
Right.
We do a lot of the things that don't really look nice, but are practical and needed.
They're practical.
Yes.
Yeah. So where are your limitations? Where is the space where you're with a customer? They got some ideas. Mm-hmm. Let's say I'm going to make up, because that's what I do. I make up things. Yeah. There's 10 ideas they give you, and you're like, well, I can do these 7 if you want. These 3 I can't do. where's your limitations and where you'd have to go to another business and say, would you like to talk to this customer? Yeah.
Our three no's are we don't really do decks. We can coordinate with people that do. We don't build fences.
You don't build a deck.
We don't build a deck. Okay. And we don't install fencing. Mm-hmm. And we don't cut down trees.
Okay.
Outside of that, what do you
got?
So
those are three specific niches that you would need to refer out. And
correct.
Do you have companies you work with that you trust to say,
we have referral
it's a good guy to call?
And pairings, depending on the project and how they want to interact, is we can get them involved, or we can say, hey, these are good people, get them.
So I'm not an old person. We joked about that earlier, okay? But I've been around a little while. I think in any industry, the business that knows their limitations, and I love the way you put it, 3 no's, that means you've been through that. But there is a temptation when you're starting a business to say yes.
Everything's yes.
And the integrity of that project will be immediately compromised if it's the first or second one. And I know there's growth, right? And you tend to let things kind of, guide themselves. But I think it's so special as any business, like you just said. The fact that you can look me in the eye and my 1 million subscribers. Just kidding. If you like that,
bring them on.
That was funny. Subscribe. That's a joke, but a suggestion. I'm mind controlling you. But in that space, though, it's so great you can say, that sounds really cool. That's not my spot.
Right.
That's not my sweet spot.
No,
I love that what
not.
you said.
Yeah.
I think that's special. And I think that really says a lot about your business, too, that you're not trying to grab those straws, but you're building something. Yeah. No pun intended. No. I'm curious, why not fences? Because it would seem to a layperson in your business that has a lot of crossover. If somebody has a pool and they want beautiful landscaping and they need to put in the fence, why over time you say, it's not my thing?
It's just not something that our guys are competent in. We don't have a good vendor source. It's never really been a big ask. It's never been big enough ask for me to say, do I want to put a crew together?
Right.
Do I want to go down this road?
You get asked 50 times to start thinking about it.
Yeah. If I keep getting the ask, then maybe my wheels will start turning.
Yeah.
As of now, it's always been give it to these guys.
Okay. And so as we're having this conversation, I just realized how big it was for your partnership and merger with Greenspring, because now you can get the product.
Yep.
Right. And so before that, were you tending to go to Greenspring, but you were using other nurseries as well?
Yep. Yeah. Okay. So, we had multiple sources, and we still do. Greenspring is now a big strategic piece of it because all of our stuff is right there, and we can load up and head right to your house as opposed to now bounce around and go to 4 different places. But
that's special.
Yeah, that is.
And so my brain is weird the way I just do things. So that now we're talking about manufacturing and distribution, which is huge. To components to a business growth, those are big things. I just realized now how awesome it was that's the way it shook down.
Oh yeah.
Because it wasn't just a great property and a great business that you talked to. It was literally a support pillar that you got to add in.
Yeah. It became a big pillar of our operation. Now we have literally guys we don't have to drive anywhere. Like before, that would have taken our production manager, our office, send out, we need this, we need X, Y, Z. Yeah. A lot more logistics, time, all that stuff.
Coordination with them.
Big time.
So if I know a concrete production factory that is up for sale, I should let you know.
Please.
You get that covered. You're good, right?
We're good. We're good.
Mental notes.
Yes.
Oh, you're selling a concrete factory? I know a guy.
Yeah.
I know a guy. Oh, that's funny. And I think it's a big deal, though, to kind of talk about that, too. Yeah. And I think it's natural that those things happen. And I think it's very special about having a local business that has those 2 key components. And there are a lot. We live in an area where there's nurseries, but a lot of places do not, right?
Yeah.
Southern Baltimore County, even around Dundalk, Essex area, they don't have those all over the place like we do up here.
Yep.
So that's pretty special that you guys can load up, like you said, and then go to your project.
Right.
Yeah, that's huge.
Helps us out, helps us be more competitive, helps us with better.
I was going to say it probably does positively affect the overall price because you have that in your backyard.
Have the ability,
figuratively and literally. That's cool. It just kind of hit me like a ton of bricks as you were answering my other question. I'm like, oh my gosh, you just added that in. That's pretty crazy. So I feel like we got a really good look into Chesapeake Landscape as a business, but you definitely took over and are growing another business.
Yep.
So let's dive into Greenspring a little bit.
Sure.
So it's in Jarrettsville,
and
I've seen it's a beautiful property.
Yep.
Good acquisition. It's the 5th time I've said it to you. So what services do Greenspring offer the community? It's a nursery. We can think about what that is or isn't, but I want to hear it from you as the owner. What could this community benefit from Greenspring?
I kind of view it as a full service supply yard. So, I mean, we have a very diverse array of bulk materials from black and brown dyed mulch, traditional mulch. We have gravels, river rounds, decorative gravel, sand, topsoil. That is all available for pickup or delivery. We have 2 delivery trucks that go out every single day.
Okay.
Cover the community, dump it wherever you want. We have a great online software for that. You literally log on, drop a pin exactly where you want it in your yard. It's Amazon right to your yard. Greatest thing in the world.
You just said Amazon right to your yard. That was pretty cool. Greenspring, what's that? Amazon for your yard.
Amazon for your yard.
That's got to go in your marketing, man. That's super cool.
Prime shipping.
Yeah. Prime shipping. That's good. Click for Prime. I like that. It's good. So I've personally purchased mulch in bulk before, and mathematically it's actually a whole lot better for me as a consumer too. Yeah. What is the typical amount where a consumer would be beneficial to cross over from bag units, per cubic feet to a dump?
I would say anything over 2 to 3 yards is kind of that.
A cubic yard, right?
Yeah, a cubic yard. Yeah, especially in the mulch world. Because after that you're moving.
Do you have enough quick math to know how many bags that would be for a consumer? Because the way that we think is how many bags, right?
A 3 cubic yard is 14 bags of mulch.
That's not a lot. No. Okay, I think that's huge. Yeah. So the moment you have a space that you are going to use that is greater than 14 bags at some orange-colored stores or some blue-colored stores, that's a conversation that you'd like to have with somebody.
Definitely. 100%.
Okay, I think that's huge. All right, keep going, man. This is great. So this is awesome. So got my mulch. You said sand?
Yep. So we have sand for, it gets various uses. That's anywhere from paver and stone settings to get people that level in-ground or above-ground pools with it, mortar mixing, all kinds of things. Topsoil, which is a great and rich product.
Swing sets,
yep, definitely. We have CR6, 57, stone dust, river rounds, and I'm probably...
So you have rock, though. So you lost me until you said river. I was like, Brad, like, where we at? What is that? We're in space right now. But, okay, river round, because I've purchased those before. Yeah. So you also have the rock component in addition to the sand or the mulch. How about dirt?
Dirt. We have
fill dirt?
We don't have fill dirt. We only have topsoil.
Topsoil, okay.
But we have a great enriched topsoil that's good for filling spaces, redoing yards, gardens, planting beds, all that stuff.
Topsoil is for what I'm going to ask you, because I was going to get it wrong anyway. As a homeowner, where am I going to differentiate between fill dirt and topsoil?
Fill dirt.
Obviously, any kind of managed space is going to be topsoil, but other than that.
Fill dirt's going to have more organic matter. It's going to be a little... Fill dirt does not have organic matter. Fill dirt is literally that's clay. It's usually a little bit of rock. It's stuff you want to... you want anything you want. If you're filling in a giant hole or bringing grade up in a big space, that's what you're looking for.
Okay.
Topsoil is literally on top. It's the stuff that grows things the best.
Okay.
In horrible redneck terms, if that sounds...
I actually know what that meant, actually. So can I bring my truck or pickup truck to get smaller loads instead of a delivery?
Yep.
But if it calls for it, you can provide the delivery.
Both. Yeah.
Fantastic. Yep. Okay.
We load on site and we...
So what else for the ground? So we've got soil at that point. We have rock. We have sand. We have mulch. What about... So you have obviously the nursery, plants.
Yep. We got plenty of plants. We have a very diverse selection of plant material.
Okay.
Kind of known when what they built it on was kind of... unique varieties, and we kind of still keep that tradition going.
Okay.
As well as the traditional stuff. We have trees, we have shrubs, we have all...
Can I see some of that stuff online, or do I have to come over and walk around?
That is on its entry level right now. Yes, is the
technology.
Technology is still coming. You can almost order that online right now.
Okay.
But
pre-order Amazon.
Yeah, pre-order Amazon. I'll ship it to you too. I don't care.
Yeah.
As long as you're local.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, you can see all that online. You will be able to see more as we go, as we get more pictures uploaded and things of that nature.
I can tell personally, though, if you are in the market for any type of intentional vegetation in the yard, the experience of going to see it, feel it, hold it, see the different... I know you have different life cycles of some of these plants, from infancy to older. You got to see those things. I would not recommend anybody purchase online. Maybe general as a search to know,
once you know it,
do they have A, B, or C? Right. But I'm sure you want to see echo that. You're going to want to see it. And if you see the life cycle, you know what it's going to look like.
Correct.
Because you can't always tell. So I don't know if you saw coming down, the one thing I said to my wife that we did not agree on, and she was able to kind of give me, compromise on something else that she got that I wouldn't want to give her, is that I wanted that South Carolina look of the old plantation driveways so I have red maples going down that are really cool, and it's going to take a while. By the time it's epic, my kids will be gone, but I know it was there.
It was there. The thought was there.
Yeah. So that's cool. So all right. So that covers everything. That covers a lot. Right. What are we forgetting?
So we have probably one of the largest natural stone yards in the county. So we have a big selection of bluestone, whether it be dimensional or regular shaped. We have a huge boulder selection. We have a lot of wall stones.
So you guys carry boulders.
Oh, yeah.
That's a really big thing these days.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. We have a huge selection of boulders. Probably half an acre of area. All different shapes, sizes, weights, all that good stuff. Belgian block. That's getting close to everything there.
That's a lot, though.
Yeah.
So I'm hearing a layperson consumer's version of, if you have a challenge in your yard, there is most likely a solution of some sort at Greenspring. Yeah. And especially with the volume, when you get over, I'm taken back by the 14 bag thing because I didn't realize it was like that. Yeah. I thought there was a diminishing return point that you hit. So I think that's pretty profound. Right. If you have more than 14 bags of mulch, which, let's be honest, is most people, then we should at least have a conversation with my friend here. That's worth having. Yeah, that's great. Awesome. Let's talk about some customers for you real quick. So if I own a home or a business, what's the point where I'm saying I need to call Brad?
Sure. It ranges for a lot of different people. Time seems to be the biggest factor.
Commodity.
Yeah. And we can't get it back.
You saw my yard. Yeah.
So here we are. So time is a factor. Knowledge, equipment, skills, expertise. All those things are a component of something. Okay. I think it's usually one of the two things come together to make that call happen. It's because people don't have I think time is personally the biggest.
I think it's the biggest one too. Yeah. My personal experience.
Right. So the time is the factor. So that's when I can't do this. I want this done. Who do I call? Hopefully it's Chesapeake.
Yeah. Call Brad at Chesapeake.
Yeah.
So I am a living proof of that because I had used another service provider knowing that my children were growing up and were eventually going to be able to get on the tractor. So I've got 3 acres. And I said to my wife, I grew up on 13 acres. It's a big bring down. You appreciate this. So I grew up on 13 acres, 2-acre pond. So it had to be push mowed around the edge or the snakes would just blow up there. My push mowing route, which was only covering it was a route. And this is 30 years ago, right? But any structure, we had a couple side buildings, the pond, and any tree we had planted in itself, not necessarily had a garden around it, but just a tree because the big tractors had to go around it, and it would make that space. And I didn't have a zero turn 30 years ago. Right. 2 hours for my push mower route, and it took me 6 hours. Now, my stepfather and I shared the burden. 6 hours of ride time to cover because most of that yard, there's about 2 acres in forest, was open. I hated it. But when I wanted to buy a home, I knew that you can change the home up and down in theory anytime you want. But God's earth, you get it. That's yours. That's yours. So the land was very important to me. So when we did it, my wife knows this part of my background. She's like, "That's a lot of grass." And then we have a funny experience. So I got a zero turn. I'm doing it, and my wife's like, "You gotta get out there and cut the grass, Joe. You gotta cut the grass." And I'm like, "Okay, I got it, right?" So I got a beer out there. I'm just riding, right? I'm enjoying it, and it's only 2 or 3 hours for me, which is half, and it's mine. It's different, right? Yeah. So my wife hears me talking to a friend about how much I love that time. It's me time. Yeah, I put my little iPod. This is 10 years ago. I put my little iPod things in, rock some music, and I drink a beer, and I hear my wife go, "Uh-huh." So the funny thing was, she was like, "Hey, you got to cut the grass, and we did, right? Obviously, okay. But when I told my buddy, "God, I love that time. It's just me. I just check out. I zone in. Rock. I enjoy. It's just kind of like mental. It's like my thing. I love that time." She's
like, I used to like mowing.
Well, she's like, "Well, we don't have time for that. We don't have time for that. I need you to do this, and this, and I'm like, "This is my time." She's like, "No. We're gonna get somebody else to do it." And I said, "Well, because you talk about time, right? Oh, yeah. When the boys are older, my 2 oldest, then we're going back." She goes, "That's fine. That's fine." So, long story short, for about 4 or 5 years. I had a service provider cut the grass, and then about 2-3 years ago when the boys were big enough to help me, we divided it in thirds. So now, and I don't make my children do anything I wouldn't do myself. So I do the front, which is like the pretty part, for about 30 minutes, and we divide it into half. So, but the whole point of that anecdote was that time was the driving force behind that. So, so anybody listening that has been thinking, I've got this beautiful yard, I want to maintain it. The more you maintain it, the more beautiful it is.
Definitely.
But
and the easier it is over time.
It does get easier, but time is a huge factor. If you have children, I mean, Lord have mercy, children's sports are a major component in a family calendar. You know this.
Big time.
Between lacrosse and football.
Yep.
But I mean, it's logistics, right? And anybody having this conversation should say, well, where's that moment where I can get my time back? I do end up saying to myself, even my half hour, like with my boys as well, like, is that time better spent doing something else?
Yep.
And it comes at a price tag, and I'm sure we can get a good rate with you guys or whatever. But it's like we have that conversation. Where's it at, right? So it's important. I think everybody have that conversation, and I would encourage anybody watching too that if you are experiencing some sort of time management issue, maybe consider about calling Chesapeake and Brad and just maybe a couple times and say, what do I get out of this time that I get back? And I think it's totally fulfilling when the mowers are done to see that. I love the smell of fresh cut grass. And like you said, when you were growing up, you love the feeling of an immediate gratification of looking back saying, I did this.
Yeah.
It's super cool.
Yeah, that's the cool part.
And obviously for our bigger project friends who have a space in the back, it's something you want to get into. So let's talk about, we talked about a customer. So question for you, what are good businesses that would be good business partners and referral partners for you when you're out in the community to kind of connect with? I know that's a big part of your marketing is that you go out there and shake hands, kiss babies.
Oh, yeah.
But who's a good business partner to have if it's someone that my audience is a part of or that I know that we can refer your way?
Yeah. I mean, we have great relationships with tree companies, roofers, believe it or not, are great referral partners. Gutter guys, they kind of go hand in hand because we do a lot of drainage work and downspout extensions. That is definitely a solid referral partner. Business wise, I mean,
how about project managers of like larger
property
commercial
managers
areas?
are great referrals for us. We do a fair amount of commercial. We treat commercially a little differently in our world. We treat it resident as if they're residential. We're going to provide that same level of service. We're not kind of at what I call dumbing it down. We're not. We're giving them that same level, and I kind of push that. Like if I'm talking to a commercial client, I'm like, we're not always the best fit because we're delivering a residential experience at the commercial. So if you're looking for that higher end feel, that's what we can bring.
Right.
But we're not going to be competitive against the traditional guys.
Yeah, that's a good point. And then you're not going to sasacrifice the integrity of what you want to, because your product is visible. When you're done with your service, it's right there. You can't not see it.
Cannot deny
that's
it.
A great point. Okay, so obviously on the real estate business, there's a lot of crossovers there.
Yep.
Are realtors good partners for you to have maintenance done on properties? Okay.
Speed is a little bit a part of our thing. We usually hold a backlog of a little bit, which is challenging, but real estate agents are great, especially for the post-consumer. For what would be the buyer.
Yeah.
They're great.
That's awesome. Yep. Okay. All right, man. I told you I was going to ask you a question. Here it comes. Okay. I gave him a little intro clue here. So, I like to ask people something fun. I think it's neat. I don't want any pressure. If you don't have an answer, it's all good. But I think one of the special things about bringing business owners on and talking about your story, where you're from, Jarrettsville, local guy growing up, is that you've been in the community for a while. And I know you know a lot of people. And everybody I talk to is like, oh, Brad Georg, he's a great guy, So that might be your answer, but I'm not going to get off that easy. You're like, sure, that's
Check. Great. Yeah.
Next question. But what do you think your superpower is, Brad?
My superpower, I don't know if I have. I mean, I'm sure I have one. I don't know if I see it as my superpower, but it kind of that connection piece. Like I'm good at logistics and figuring stuff out, problem solving.
That's a heck of a good
I love
skill.
That's my favorite thing to do. Is just kind of what's the problem, what's the solution, work through all the angles. I love that. That's what drives a lot of me.
Awesome. So I'm going to put all of your contact information up on the video at the bottom of the description. Is there anything you want to say to the audience about Chesapeake or Greenspring that they might not necessarily get from a quick look at a website or a link or social media?
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously we've been around for a long time now. The The Chesapeake experience is a different experience. You are kind of handheld through the process. We have a very followed customer interaction process, production process. That's kind of what totes us home. We use technology a lot, and that's really the differentiators. I mean, we can definitely bring that different experience to a basic need. That's how I do it.
I'm still excitingly shocked about the technology in your field, and I feel like an idiot saying that out loud. But I'm like, oh, there's technology. That's great. Oh, yeah. And it can be bad, but we talked about that. So that's, and like your great answer was that you're here today because of some of that, and it allows you to open up time. So that's super cool, man. I really appreciate you coming. So I am trying to develop a network of trusted community members. So in the cheesiness of my YouTube channel, my last name, and the podcast, I always tell people, once you've been a guest, you're now connected to the Webb with 2 B's. So thank you for being connected. I'm excited. I can't wait to hear about the success that your family has. You guys are great people. I couldn't say that enough. Your wife's a super cool lady. Your children are awesome. So thank you for being a great member of the community, Brad. And for anybody looking for anything in the landscaping or lawn care business, Chesapeake and Greenspring are going to be a great option for you guys. So thank you very much. Guys, thanks for watching. I hope you got a lot about today. This is a super cool guy. Check out the website. I'll put his website on. It's pretty cool. I did kind of sneak a little peek of it, but it's a good website. But more importantly, he's a good guy, and his people are good, and he's not going to hire somebody that doesn't represent your values, which in this world is unfortunately a leg up in the competition. It is. So, guys, thanks for watching. After the Webb, I'll see you in the next episode.